I'll be back.
Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG81 and today I'm going to do a review for this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Yes, I know I should stop that because I really do a very bad imitations of the theme song because I can't use that song. It will get me into copyright trouble. And yeah, here we have it, the Mafex, the Terminator T-800. Okay, so for those of you who knows me, I don't really watch the Terminator. To be honest, I have not watched the entire movie. I mean, from the beginning to the end, because the very first scenes that I was exposed to when I was young is this. And these scenes really give me some very bad nightmares. But surprisingly, for Terminator 2, I fell in love with it. So this is one figure which I have not thought about getting, but upon seeing lots of pictures and since it's Arnold figure, I always love him. Okay, so I just decided to get him to combat my fear. Yeah, I'm ready to face my fear. So let's take a look at the box. This is the original size of the Mafex box. This might be the last one. Oh no, sorry, there's a Cyborg Superman as well, which is giving us the big one as well. So I think eventually Mafex will actually make it into those smaller box, which actually save more plastic.
Bullshit.
And as you can see, the box design totally matches the Terminator theme. Yes, this is really nice looking ones. This side, wow, very cool museum pose of the Terminator. And at this side, yeah, this is my nightmare. And at the top of the box, we can see this very iconic poster style of the Terminator movie. And at the back is always my favorite, again, my nightmare. And he even used the finger to poke his eyes out. And we can see all the accessories and the head that it comes with. Now, let's get him out. Okay, before I get into the figure, I would like to show you the box design, and wow, you can see a very sexy Arnold pictures right over there. And very surprisingly, when I open beneath the box, you can see more pictures of Arnold, and again, this is my nightmare scenes. Now, I'm very curious whether the top of the box will have some other pictures, so I decided to open it up and let's take a look. Okay. Oh, okay, so there is no... oh my goodness, another pictures from the scene. And I also did notice they written something here. No pity, no pain, no fear, something unstoppable. Is this the slogan of the Terminator movie? Okay, so this is the T-800 right out of the box. And my first impression was when I took him out of the box, I got disappointed for one thing, but after a while, I kind of glad that they actually do it this way, which is this outer coat here. At first, I thought they will be using some real cloth material, maybe a platter, yeah, leather plus plastic, so they call it platter. But eventually, I found out it's just a rubber. Yeah, kind of disappointed about that. But when I took a look at this Terminator from the Great Toys, which actually uses some real platter here, yes, the realism is there because when they started to use real material, it looks better. But as you can see, this figure I think is about 2 years old, and you can really tell that eventually it will start to peel off. And I can also sense that the jeans here or the leather here is starting to feel a little bit sticky. So eventually I think it will start to peel and get torn and things like that. But right now I didn't move him much, I just let him stand still. But imagine if I were to play with it, articulate him, turning his leg, bending his hand, I'm pretty sure this will get deteriorate even faster. So when I look at this one again, Yes, I'm very glad that Mafex decided to use some rubber here so it will last longer, so you don't have to get worried about playing with it. It will not deteriorate, it will not peel off. Yes, so this is a good thing. And secondly, this figure is rather heavy. Wow, it really feels like I'm holding an endoskeleton here. Yeah, somehow I'm not sure why. And the third thing is I'm kind of glad that it actually makes the glasses, the shades, yeah, actually stick on to the figure itself, because otherwise it will keep falling off. It's get rather irritating. Just like this one here, the shade will always get fallen off. Sometimes I can't even find it, so yeah, it's not really a good thing. So let's take a look at this guy here, and the jacket is really looking very detailed here with all the belts. And oh, okay, I forgot to take this thing out again. There is a plastic underneath his torso. Yep, so this is a really good one. Wow, I kind of love it though. And you can see from the hands, it's looking very nice here. The pants is rather plain. I would say there's nothing much to talk about. And the shoe is something again I noticed. There are some jewelry here which I didn't notice from the movie. I believe it should be screen accurate, and this one also has some jewelry here. I think Mafex have keep the details quite intact. And at the back, yeah, nothing much there, but it does looks pretty good. He does look jacked up, not like some very skinny dude. And let's take a look at his face. Yeah, the look does somehow seems off. Doesn't really have the Arnold looks there, but I believe the one without the shades will actually looks better. Is it because of the hair? I'm not so sure why, but from afar you can really see that that's Arnold over there, but from near it doesn't looks like him. But nevertheless, I still think that this is a pretty good looking one. And I'm sorry that I don't have any NECA to compare him with, but still I think this is a rather good T-800 to begin with. And next we'll move on to the articulation. I'll start with the head as always, so he can looks to the right, looks to the left. Looking up, well, he can't do that because of the collar of his jacket. Looking down, wow, pretty good. He does have a separate neck here, so you can actually move it pretty freely and can turn 360 degrees without any issue, and it pop out straight away. What the shit? Don't worry, you can actually pop it back in, and you can see there are some butterfly joints there. However, there isn't any arm swivels. A double joint elbow, can swivel on his hand moving up and down. 2 points of articulations, can turn on his waist, and you can also move around with his torso. Let's see how well he can bend forward. Not too bad. Bending backwards will be pretty impossible because of his jacket, and there's a pretty good pull down mechanism for his leg. And with his leg pull down, you can actually do a pretty good 90 degrees kick up, and kicking backwards is pretty good as well. And like his arm, there isn't any tight swivels. Single joint knee. You can swivels on his boot, but you can actually swivels around on his feet going up and down. There are toe hinges as well, but mine seems to be stuck. Oh, okay, so I can do it now. Let's see how well this Terminator can do a split. Yeah, it's about this. Okay, so in overall, this T-800 does have some limitations when it comes to the articulations. Okay, so let's move on to the accessory, and I'll start with the hand as always. So he does comes with a pair of closed fist hand that's already on the figure, a pair of open palms hands, a pair of relaxed hands, another pair of relaxed hand with the fingers slightly bent inwards, and lastly a pair of gun trigger hands, or the hands for using to dig out his eyes. Two very detailed handgun or pistol, I don't know what you call it.
45 long slide with laser sighting.
And this one is looking pretty good with this thing here. I believe this is for you to aim better with the infrared.
Just touch the trigger, the beam comes on, and you put the red dot where you want the bullet to go.
Yeah, this one is actually is very detailed. I like how they actually craft it out, and the silver is making it looks even better. Wow.
9mm.
You know your weapons, buddy.
Yeah, this one is looking pretty good as well, but it's just kind of lacking of paint details over there. It's just all blackish. Another longer machine gun, which I maybe it's not even calling machine gun. I don't know the names for all these guns. I'm so sorry about that, but it does looks pretty good. Again, it's just all black here, not much of a paint details, but you can see it looks very nice as well. And lastly is a shotgun, which is also my favorite, and this one does have some silver here, making it looks pretty good. And lastly, he just comes with two more interchangeable heads, and this is the one without the shade that I'm talking about. Wow, you can really see Arnold's face over there. I think the likeness is pretty good. Oh, okay, so the hairstyle is different. Okay, and yes, this is my nightmare. Wow, just take a look at all the details. It's rather good details. I can't wait to see how they are going to make the T-800 from Terminator 2 with all this better damage. I think I will love that a lot. And you can see this one is looking pretty good as well. Really amazing. So when it comes to the accessory, I think this is a pretty good amount of accessory for this T-800, especially with all the different guns that he comes with. Now, as always, I will try to put on some of the accessory onto this figure here, and let's start with the hands. As always, you just need to remove the hands by pulling it out like this, and just slot in the hand of your choice just like this. In order to let him hold on to this gun, I would recommend you to remove the hands from the figure first, and then you just slightly open it up. The grip is actually pretty soft. Yeah, it's not that hard. And then you just slot the gun in. And once you feel that the hand's got a good grip on the gun, you just need to slide it back to the action figures, and it should be all well. Yes, this is how he looks like. Wow. And this is how he looks like with two guns on his hand. This is rather cool looking. Woo! And to interchange the head, all you need to do is just pull it out like this and just slot it back in. Yes, as simple as that. And this is my nightmare. Oh my goodness, this is very scary indeed. But he does looks very cool with all these big guns here. Wow, just take a look at that, and this is really nice. Okay, so next I would like to talk about the posability for this guy. Even though he's a Terminator, we don't expect a lot of dynamic poses from him like Spider-Man, but this guy is not rigid at all. So I have tried to play around with him just now. I think that it's pretty good. I mean, in terms of the posability, he isn't that bad at all, even though you don't need to do all these kind of things. You see, you can even do some kung fu pose if you want to, like a flying kick kind of things, or even if you can do like a split up leg kicking forward. Yeah, a lot of things that if you want to play with it in terms of taking some funny photography poses. This guy, yeah, he's not as dynamic as a Spider-Man can do, but he isn't that rigid at all. Even this piece of jacket, I believe you can take it out if you want to, but it will look pretty odd because the arm will be with the jacket. But you can see that it doesn't really hinder much of the articulation once you take him out. But even with it, you can see that this guy can really do some cool poses as well if you want to. Okay, so I would say is that, yeah, you don't need to pose him like this to looks cool, because Terminator is supposed to just be standing still with the guns in his hand, and he looks badass. So but he still can do the poses if you want to. So I think this guy deserves some credit for his posability as well. And lastly, I would like to talk about the price for this guy here. He's costing around 8,000 price range in terms of Japanese yen, and I do think that is reasonable, because if you take a look at the Terminator 2 two figures, is already on the 9,000 price range, which is getting more and more expensive. I believe in the future it will be all in 10,000, 11,000 price range, which is not that surprising actually. So I think it's quite justified for him to be in that price range, even though it is not cheap at all. Do click on the likes button if you enjoy this review. Okay, so next I'll move on to some size comparisons. I'll begin by comparing with some SH Figuarts. This is the Iron Man Mark 85. Wow, okay, pretty much the same height I think. and also the Marvel Legends cable. And next I'll compare with this Figma Robocop which is rather small, as well as this Mafex Robocop with the custom head. And next I'll compare with this LeBron James from Hasbro. Wow, he's very much taller than him, maybe in real life too, because he's a basketball player, so he's supposed to be pretty tall. As well as this Sentinel toy Spider-Man, which seems to be taller than him. And last but not least, how could I not compare with this great toys Terminator 2 Arnold, which seems to be taller than this Mafex. Okay, so my final verdict for this Terminator based on all the star ratings so far is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. Yes, aesthetically it looks beautiful, articulation isn't that bad as well. Accessory wise, he's pretty good. In terms of posability, I think he's rather good as well, even though you don't need them. You just need him to be standing still in a musing pose and he looks badass as hell. Okay, so even for someone that is not a fan like me, I would still strongly recommend you to get him. This guy is a must-have in your collections. So I do hope that you enjoy my review, and I certainly hope that it helps you to decide if you should get this guy, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Now you'll watch this video or I'll hunt you in your dream.